So, we are almost at the end of our course plan, and definitely which is my end point. In fact, it is your point of starting. So, my end point means your beginning. In fact, you have to start it. Now, anyway, so this is the concluding session, and in these sessions we are going to discuss about two more interesting projects. So, that these projects you can take as a challenge and then try to implement these projects, and definitely I am sure that if you can take this project and then you will enjoy a lot. Now, let us have the discussion to the project idea. This is the 10th program projects, and as the name that you can see here, the name of the project is Course Management Systems. You probably know exactly it is managing the course. What is the course? Whenever students attend some classes and take some enrollment in a course, he become the participants of the course. Then there is a teacher called the course coordinator, who basically control many information about, right, say what are the marks obtained by each student, then grading, and so many these things are there. Now, in this projects similar kind of things needs to be maintained, so that the course related information needs to be stored, and then the user can enter the marks and you can process the results can be available, the user can see, the teacher can see, a student also can see whatever it is there. So, many other improvement can be done. It is the starting point of the project, and then you can extend this project adding some idea from your side as well as. Now, let us see exactly for this project what is the skill set that you should have. You have to implement this project using Java Swing as it is proposed here, then JDBC and networking, that knowledge is required, so that you can implement this project. Now, idea about this project, let us come to the idea. So, you have to maintain a server database. This server database will store a number of entries, it is basically number of tables, I can say, each tables for each subject. Say suppose one students taking physics, maths, chemistry, then 3 tables are to be maintained. It may be that all students, same students are not taking all the subjects. So, there should be another one table also, which include all the students under this particular year or semester who are active in a academic program. So, there will be a list of student, the students information, and then marks obtained by different students in different courses. So, this is the table or database that needs to be maintained, and here the administrator can maintain this information. Otherwise, you can develop one interface for which database can be entered. Whatever the projects that you have already, some idea can be applied here also, but I am thinking that all the database table is entered by the administrator. So, here you do not have any burden or any responsibility for this. So, create a GUI program, therefore, here the teacher can enter the marks obtained by the students in the course he has offered. So, here the facilities that will be available. So, the user can run a program. Once the user run the program, an interface will appear, and using this interface the user can enter the marks obtained by the different subjects who attended the course. And then there will be a computation aspects. The results stored in the database will be compiled for either for each student or for each course, whatever the way that will be decided, and then accordingly the results will be compiled. Result means grading can be done depending some rule based. Say if marks is greater than 90%, then he should be awarded EX grade, if 80 to 90% A grade, or this kind of grading composition you can decide and implement it. So, the computing server will be there, which will basically do all these computation tasks, not in the teacher's machine. So, teacher's machine is another machine, the server will compute all these things another machine, and then database which will be stored maybe in the different machine, not the same server machine. We will assuming that database can be maintained in a different server. So, there are 3 layer architecture as we see, from the user side, from the server side computation, and then from the another server from the storing the database. Anyway, so now we will consider for simplicity maintain a database server in some machine which is connected to the net, and the database should contains two tables as we have mentioned here. As a practice purpose, you can just simply add on mode only, you can add some other subjects, other things also. So, student table is there, maths subjects, mathematics table is there, and physics table is there. Three tables are to be maintained in the MySQL server. Then whenever the database administrator maintain this table, we have to fix the table database. So, I have given an idea about how the database table look like. So, for the students it will have the role and name, and then we have given the type, that our role is of type integer of size 10, then name is varchar of size 50, and then roll number is the primary key here, and then this is the other is there. Now, similarly for the maths, roll, attendance, and then marks obtained will be to be added here. Similarly, physics also, the name, roll number, and the marks needs to be maintained here. In the sites, marks is not shown here, but you have to add the marks there also in this entry. Anyway, so these are the different entries are to be there, and so GUI program. This is a typical look. Not necessary that you have to follow the same look. If you have some better aesthetic sense, then you can design the layout of your own, and then you can use it. So, you can develop the layout in such a way that user, maybe say teacher, from his own mobile also can access this program. So, browser should be according to that way only. So, your GUI window will be planned this way, so that it is compatible to anywhere actually there. Anyway, so first task in this project is basically after the database is created, this is the first task. Our second task is basically to create the GUI programs for data entry interface for the teacher, and so I have already told you this is the look of the teacher interface is there. Here user will enter the student name, and then enter the marks and everything, and then order and everything. If you want to fetch the data, it will show in which order it will get it, and then rank and everything will be there. Otherwise, you can decide some other interface of your own also, so that user can use it and then can go on adding the data into the system. Now, once the user enter the data, it will go directly to the computing server, and then from the computing server it will go to the MySQL database. That user or any user cannot directly access the database. So, database is a backend server we can say, and then at the so this is the database server at the back end of computing server, and at the front end the user program. So, that user interface is there which will communicate to the computing server, which can be again communicate to the backend server like this. Now, so now next is data processing mechanism. Here the computing server will take care. Computing server can access the database server by means of program, and then depending on the user requirement, either preparing the results or sorting of the marks based on some ascending or descending order, and many other utilities that can be added here in the computing server. So, this is the data processing mechanisms are there. Now, I will just quickly brief about the data processing mechanism that you should follow here. Now, here the step by step. So, there is a socket program that you have to develop, and we can say is a client socket, and then server socket is basically at the server end, which will basically computing aspects will be there, and then MySQL the server is there. So, there are three entities, three computing entities. One is the client server, and then database server are to be there in this system, and then the teacher, okay, who can enter the marks, it is there. So, a teacher will be there who can enter the marks. So, from the GUI interface, here the teacher will enter the marks here, and then once the teacher enter the marks, it will go to the client sockets. These sockets can run in the same machine, or like it actually basically it should run in the same machine. Once the result is goes there, it will go to the server socket, whatever the in data that user teacher has populated, it will go to the server. Then server will send it to the MySQL server through JDBC connectivity. Now, again if user wants to retrieve something, any user say student or any other teacher, then another GUI should be developed there. Then through the same GUI it sends a request, go to the computing server first, then MySQL, and then MySQL return the result. Computing server will process according to the requirement or some retrieval information that is there, and then it will go to the client sockets, and then finally it will display on the user's machine. So, this is basically the idea about how the flow of data will takes place from user to the system itself, as this is a 3-tier architecture as I told you. So, this basically look like a 3-tier architecture as it is shown here. So, this is basically the architecture that you have to consider for in this project actually, and this architecture has been planned little bit difficulty level, I should say bit high, because here so many tiers are to be implemented, and then they should be properly synchronized communicates, but it is only for the experienced user and they can do it easily, and it is not the very heavy job actually. You can make the curtail the job according to your own time and then knack and interest, you can do it, the minimum version of it also. So, this is about the our 10th projects and the next project, and this is the most challenging project. Challenging project in the sense that it is because a lot of other things are to be exercised, and then the knowledge level has to be highly applied here, and the program is called Java Word Pro Duo. So, here the name is not complete here. So, Java Word Pro Duo, this is the project actually that we are going to discuss. Now, let us see what is the project idea, so that you can understand what exactly this project it is. And this project is, as the name implies, Word Pro stands for word processing, and Duo means it will do more than one job actually at the same time. So, that is why it is Duo. Now, for this project the skill set that you should consider here: swing, event handling, encapsulation handling, that is all. It is no network involved, it is no JDBC involved, no other what is called the things involved, only the GUI and the programming is involved. Now, so this is the as the smallest level, but lot of other things. So, if you want to make yourself is a great swing programmer, then this project really you can think for as a good what is called the task actually, is a good challenge for you. Now, let us see what is the idea of the project. So, as I have mentioned that this project is basically the word processing is there. So, we have to develop word processing editor. You are already familiar with some word processing editor that most probably you have used while you are compiling, you are typing your program, for example, Notepad++, WordPad, Notepad, these are the words. So, similar kind of software you have to develop. It is also, the problem is solved actually, but from your side whether you have solved this problem. If the answer is no, then there is a challenge that how you can develop such a word processing document editor or word processing editor, text editor, we can say like that. So, it is not the big job, it is a simple application of Java swing can help you to do the job very easily actually. Now, next is that you have to develop a GUI program for the Word Pro. So, it is very nice looking graphical user interface to be developed. You have to have a little bit some idea, so that whatever the existing word processor is there, how your software can be comparable to them. So, you can add few more things, so that you can say that you see this is the things that is my program, where the other program it does not have this kind of things are there. So, coloring and so many other things also you can add it if you can do it. It is not the big job, it is not an impossible, it is practically feasible. So, you can do it, only you have to think about that what you want to do, and then think about how this can be done. So, this what and how resolve if you can resolve these what and how questions, then you can solve this problem very easily. So, that is why there is a lot of customization, and moreover the main customization is that how this word processing system can be used for both the composing a document as well as is a calculator purpose. So, idea it is there, and if you can then such a document, word processing document can be also implemented compatible to any Indian language. That is also a challenging job, and that is also very beautiful project also, and the calculator also can be Okay, so if it is a Indian language compatible, maybe say in Hindi or in Bengali, then you can do it typing in Bengali or Hindi like this one. So, job is okay, it is not a very novel of its kind, but it is challenging as well as, and it will give a lot of experience and learning scope, so that you can use to develop more advanced and sophisticated program in different application. And moreover, if you developed in here, you can use it in the Windows Android operating system. If you can develop it here, you can use it in a Mac OS. If you can develop it for the desktop, you can use also in for laptop or tablet, or it is in by notebook, or it is in a mobile handset, smartphone, whatever it is there. So, scope is very high, application potential is also heavy. Now, let us see how it look like in the first phase. Let us step by step, if you do it, then job become easier. You should not try to do all the things together one by one. So, first you have to see how a canvas sort of thing, which basically appear is a windows, should be given to the user, so that user can type anything, whatever the user will type, it will appear on the canvas itself. So, this is basically add a editing panel or frame look like. So, a typical look as it is shown here, you have to implement like this. Then you have to add on functionalities into this frame one by one. As you see here, we have added one functionality is called the file. You can see any word processing, what are the menus are there, you can go on adding all those things one by one. Once the file it is there, it will give new, open, save or exit, this kind of things are there. So, this file open if it is there. Now, if you want to save it, for example, here, then it will ask that okay, save or do not save or cancel, whatever it is there. So, after adding this file option, you can add few more buttons also there, and then you can add it is, for example, after file edit. Edit means it can have the editing facilities like editing, cut, paste, and then select all, whatever the things are there, you can apply it here. So, here basically event handling for each components, if you add one by one, go on adding, test the program and go to the next step, and so on so on. This way you can see after few efforts, you can develop a nice Word Pro program like. Then our next version is that, so input, as I told you, it should be used for a dual purpose. Dual means text editing. So, if it is a text editing, then fine. Now, whenever it is a text editor, from where you can type it. So, obviously, you use the standard keyboard, which is already attached with the things, but in some mobile environment there is no standard keyboard. So, if you want to use it for the mobile setting, then how you can do that. So, for these things you can develop one software keyboard. Even the software keyboard also can be used using your laptop or using your PC also. If your PC or laptop touch enabled, so after touching also it can be done, or clicking also by mouse pointing also it can be done, whatever it is there. So, keyboard, and then keyboard has the software keyboard as well as the hardware keyboard is compatible to that. Now, so for the software keyboard it is there, I have given a layout of the software keyboard. Once the user select that system keyboard or virtual keyboard, I mean software keyboard, then this kind of things will appear for the user, so that user can click it or touch it, and then accordingly the text will be entered and then it will display on the screen. So, this is the one layout, and this basically obviously little bit complex. It is not so simple as the calculator panel is there. It is very difficult. It is not difficult actually, it is only voluminous, because so many keys are involved and not all keys are of equal size. There may be function keys also, which I have not mentioned here. You can do again the caps key, click also, caps is there also, numeric is there also, punctuation keys are there also. All those things will be settle it out, but everything is possible writing a simple software program in fact, and using Java it is not a very difficult job for any programmer. And then the software keyboard that you have developed also can be utilized to use as a calculator. So, calculator for the display here it is there, and then you see whenever you use as a calculator here. So, there is a calculator button will be there, if you select it then it will act as a calculator. In this case all the button will be in a disabled state. So, no response will be there, no event operations will be there. However, all the calculator related buttons will be there and then you can use it. And more important thing is that you can little bit improve this calculator by adding some more character button also there, so that some expression, say suppose a equals to 5, b equals to 10 and c equals to 100, if you add and then you can express a star b plus c divided by a plus b plus c. This kind of expression also can be carried out using this calculator easily. So, this is the advantage of this calculator in addition to the calculator for text entry, and really very useful, because you will get the two facilities in the same product. That is why this product is called the Duo project. Anyway, so we have discussed about many other things which is related to this. Then I am almost at the concluding part, but before going to this concluding portion, I want to make one more things very clear, that whatever the programs that we have used in our throughout the entire course, those programs are available, and the link I have given in the slides. You can see the link. So, it is basically https then csc.iitkgp.ac.in then /d Samanto. So, this is the link actually, as we see in this link, if you follow then you will find one HTML page there which contains all the necessary informations. Those I have used in this course also, it is already there, it is a very huge resource, and then you can get all the documents from there also. In addition to this resource, where all the programs that I have used, I have already deposited there, you should download all the program and run it. Just try to run it. If you run it, then you can learn it. If you do not nurture this program, you will not be there. Only learning theory, syntax and everything will not help you to learn it much more. And then another thing is that in the first introduction slides, in the first lectures, you can note I have given one tutorial link of the website. So, it is called the Java tutorial from the Oracle. You can even from the Google search engine type that Java tutorial from Oracle. So, it will give the link. So, it is basically standard edition is there, and the Oracle is the one another party of now developing this Java system. Actually, they are a part of the Java development team. So, now they maintain a very nice link, nice web page, which basically gives for all aspects of the Java programming with examples and all the documents. So, that you can consider as a complement to this course learning, whatever you are. If you find any difficulties to learn from my delivery, then you can consult quickly there and you can learn also like that. Another important resource that you should consider, so that you can hone your skill, is basically Java API. Now, Java API is very important because if you know the different methods belongs to the different class, then you can try to apply it. But I have not mentioned all the methods that can be belongs to a particular class. For example, string, under the string there may be say 100 methods are there. How so many methods can be discussed in a short duration of half an hour lectures or like that. I did not do that. However, you can have all the methods, their constructors, the return type, the fields, and then description, everything that is also from the Java Oracle sites. Again the same Oracle websites it is, you can follow, it will give you all the information about. So, you can give a type like Java API from Oracle. So, it will give all the packages whatever the it is, and it is basically the genuine source, the source from the developer itself. So, source from the creator itself. So, this is a very important source that you can think about it. And as I told you already, so I am almost at the end point, and I told you my end point is not okay, my end point is basically your starting point for your things are. So, with these things I would like to conclude this course here, and then I obviously wish you all the best and ever success in your career. And also I want to convey my thanks to all of you for attending this course, and thanks for your attention throughout this long journey. I wish you all the very best for the careers point of view, from your development point of view. Okay, thank you very much.